Boise State, ranked 25th in the country and champions of the Mountain West, taking the field at Sam Boyd Stadium in the 2017 Las Vegas Bowl as part of Capital One Bowl Mania, and waiting on the other side in apple green unis, Mario Cristobal's Oregon Ducks. Cristobal just got the job a little over a week ago. He leads Oregon in as head coach for the first
defense.
Throwing a little screen to Ryan Wolpen. Wolpen gets a first down and is across the 45. Packages, he and Rippon will both be in the game at the same time. Wolpen has the ball for the second time, and he's just ripping through the Duck defense for another first down. Been good on fourth down, just 2 of 16. Oh. On the boot, in the middle, complete to the tight end. The stop just short of the goal line is Alec Danens, but Danens does have the first down.
At that line of scrimmage.
Oh. Now put him in the spin cycle, flip it out to Wolpen, and he tumbles into the end zone. Touchdown, Boise State.
Was that style points? I mean, it didn't really do anything. It was just like we have to live up to our reputation almost. Free snap, all 4 guys just kind of flip around, and then you get the ball out to the receivers. Again, you know, I don't know what this is. Here we go. Here we go.
It's Vegas, baby. A little showbiz, a little entertainment, sweetheart. A little Piro. Philip Fulmer at Tennessee. Second down and 10. Rippon's got a man out there. It's Monster in the secondary. He's inside the 20 before he's finally dragged down. Cedric Wilson is back to take the snap, and they do a little double handoff. Wolpen has it, and he's cut down, but not before he gets inside the 5. Now at running back. Rippon wants to throw instead. Rippon throwing it into traffic, and it's intercepted. Arian Springs, a very poor decision by Rippon.
The receiver goes out of the flat. He thinks he's on him, then he comes off of him, reads the quarterback's eyes, goes up, and makes a one-handed interception.
Target, a lot of speedy, shifty guys at receiver, certainly guys who can run, including that guy in the backfield, and Tony Brooks-James didn't hold on to it. The ball's loose. Let's see if they're going to call it a catch and say he never held on to it. The officials are saying fumble and giving Boise the ball, but I'm sure they'll look at it again. You know who was in the middle of it. Leighton Vander Esch was the guy.
Smart thing for the officials. Allowed it to be a catch, and it could be considered a fumble. They can always review it. And there's Vander Esch. Again, that big middle linebacker in space against the quickest.
Recipe for trouble. Happened in our game and in this one. This one's on the money. Wilson's on his way. Rip into Wilson. Cedric Wilson, touchdown.
Here, watch him work to the middle, and he's almost about to size up the Oregon defender that's running with Cedric Wilson. He gets him just enough to have to get him off of his ability to stay.
See if Hogarth has an extra yard in him. On the way, and it is no good, and Oregon comes up with a much-needed stop. This one from 39. Kick on the way, and this one is true. That the Cristobal era will turn out quite that well. It's quite too early to say. Into the middle, and it's picked off. Intercepted right over the middle, and the play is
quarterback. He's looking to the middle, trying to look off the safety, which he did, but he didn't even see Jordan Happel. He throws it right into his arms.
Presenting those who've lost their lives.
And botched the handoff attempt on a high snap, but Herbert's going to make something out of it, and Justin Herbert run out of bounds.
A lot about the respect he has for him.
A lot of heat on Herbert. That looks like an interception, and it's going the other way. Looks like a pick 6 in Kekala Kaniho. Touchdown, Boise State.
Justin Herbert just throws this ball out into the flat, and the receiver, you know, he's creating, he's improvising. The receiver, Charles Nelson, goes downfield. Instead of cutting out, it's easy to look at Herbert and say, what's he doing?
Rippon taking the snap, Cosart's in motion.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Statue of Liberty looking, and the Ducks have it. Did Troy Dye keep his feet? That might be the break they needed. Troy Dye. I got your Statue of Liberty, and I'm taking it the other way. Touchdown, Oregon.
Boise State and some of these tricks. Does this one come back to backfire on them? Got up into the face mask of Mahone, who's a freshman, and Troy Dye, who's been the kind of the catalyst of this defense most of the year. #1 of the team in tackles, picks that ball up and shows he's got whoever wins emerges more than likely with home field advantage.
Rippon trying to get it back, and he's got his man. It's Wilson, Cedric Wilson inside the 10.
Thomas Graham, the freshman, has been tested, and you see Wilson is down. But look at this, he's tested pretty good position. The ball is just perfectly thrown in the way of a defender.
Also remember the timeouts are gone, and there's another interception. And now Oregon has an opportunity. Going the other way is #2, Tyree Robinson. He's on his way to the house. End-to-end consecutive huge plays by the Oregon defense on consecutive drives, and the Ducks are back in this thing.
I just said look out for the rub route. That's exactly what Richardson works to the inside, but give Oregon credit and Tyree Robinson credit for not getting picked, not getting in the way. Watch how he kind of does a good job of being able to get over top of the rub and then steps in front of it. Brett Rippon and
back and scoring after the one turnover in the end zone, but the other two kept Oregon in the game, firing the 15 facing Rippon. Jelks trying to apply some heat. Wilson sees the ball before the defender and goes and makes the play. Working on Diamanor Lenore, and Wilson saw the ball coming and just showed that veteran savvy to get to it.
And we just talked about the body control, the way he's able to read the ball. He comes back, the freshman, never. They got to come up with a stop. Very least try to force a field goal.
Rippon finds his tight end cutting underneath, staying on his feet, headed toward the pylon. Touchdown, Alec Dayens. How about the agility from Alec Daynans keeping his feet?
That's a heck of a job by Daynans, but a horrible job by Arion Springs. This is textbook you see in college football a lot by defensive backs, using his shoulder and not wrapping up. You saw him pat his chest saying, my fault, and the reason he's saying it, he's in great position right there. Just wrap up, and I know he's a big tight end. At 6'3", 250 pounds, you create openings in the running game.
Backfield, down, hit for a loss, Van Der Esch again, and that's just like the first drive of the game.
Absolutely, that's the up.
Herbert throws it out, and there it is. Oregon is into Boise State territory. A catch by Johnny Johnson, the freshman.
Oh, and the different looks.
Herbert puts it right on Breland. Jacob Breland slipping tackles and fighting.
Boise State will shoot those gaps. So instead of running, they decide to get away from that.
On second down, Rippon across the middle. Nice grab. And Molly, what's going on the Boise sideline?
Well,
Molly, for home?
let's talk to our bosses about a little pay raise for that, guys.
Justin Herbert slingshots out to the edge and scampered.
Herbert a chance.
Herbert looking. Firing to the outside. Mitchell has it. He shakes off one guy before he's earlier today. Again, they'll roll Herbert. He's in trouble. He gets away. Can he get to the stick? He does, but barely.
Wow, you're big. 6'6", 225.
Herbert to the end zone again. Touchdown, Brendan Schooler. The former defensive back turned back wide receiver. Makes a touchdown grab, him with the extra point. It's going to be a 10-point game.
Yeah, it's a nice drive by Herbert and Oregon. 7 plays, 78 yards, under 2 minutes. Most importantly, you can see Boise State brought pressure. They brought the blitz. One of the few times we've seen the secondary out in after the quarterback.
They're showing pressure, and here come guys. They pick it up for a moment, but not long enough.
It was Weaver.
He's just on this right now, so his decision is uncertain at the moment. At least that's a huge first down and a completion to the young receiver, C.T. Thomas. Looked like a rolling bowling ball of butcher knives there, cutting through. Another strong run from Boise State, Robert Mahone. And now Boise State starting to put a chokehold on this game as we head down. UCF was trying to play Georgia Tech. A game called off because of the hurricane. Rippin throwing deep and lays it right in there to Wilson again. Let me tell you something. Those two, they are, it's like a telepathic connection on that route and that throw.
Yeah, they've done it. They've done it all day. They've done it throughout the last few years. But you maybe haven't seen a ton of Cedric Wilson. It's a shame because he's one of the top receivers in the country. A tall guy at 6'3", body control. This is about the ball, the placement of the ball.
Exhorting that defense, show a little pride, which they certainly have all day. Look at there's the pirouette move. Now we're going to a pirouette and a couple of dance steps. They scored off that pirouette move earlier. And there's the knockout punch. Wolpen goes in. Yabba-dabba-doo, I guess, for Boise's Fred Flintstone. And Wolpen, the fifth-year senior, tough guy, with Alexander Madison still nursing that ankle, has been a workhorse today. Getting the tough yards while Wilson era will be in the offseason, how that work goes and how the Ducks respond, what types of changes might be made as a result of this. Herbert throwing it deep, and Mitchell makes the catch and looked back like he was looking for somebody to come chase him, but he gets down inside the 10.
I don't know what he was doing there. I think he was waiting for a block or what he might be.
Or a friend to lateral it to or something.
Yeah, but Jalen Walker, again, leaving these corners on islands with the lead. And it looked like Mitchell may have run out of bounds. I don't know if he was pushed
close,
out of bounds, but he was very close. They haven't gone away. They keep competing.
Herbert firing to the end zone. And this time it is Johnson with the catch. Or no, check that. That is 30. Red with the catch, and he got it over the goal line for the score for the Ducks. Jalen Red, impressive young player for Cristobal.
See, I mean, if you're Mario Cristobal, probably odds are you aren't going to come back and win this game. But this team could have shut things down. You know, many of their fans have left. I mean, they could have. Well, I think that's why they get that benefit. That's why they're known as that team. You know, when Kellen Moore was at Boise State, they played Georgia in the Georgia Dome and beat them. They played for a good Virginia Tech team in FedEx Field and beat them. And that's how you beat Oklahoma in a Fiesta Bowl. When you do those things, you get recognized and you get the benefit of the doubt of the group of five.
These are the bowl wins against Power 5 teams, and you should note that teams that were in Power 5s at the time of the bowl games that played TCU. TCU at that time was not. This is his debut as the Ducks' full-time head coach. 4-0 in the Las Vegas Bowl. This is home away from home for the fellas from the blue as Wilson and the guys get the win. 38-28 miles.